What up, just for JP in the house. Anyway, I want to talk about the Do You Love Black Men? Do You Love Black White Men? Hirahata video and what happened. So anyway, I went up to see G Money. I think it was probably the first time I went there where we just actually hung up in Hirahata City. And we're just chilling and stuff. He was telling me about the girls and stuff. G Money's a white guy. He telling me about the girls and stuff. He's from Canada. And he was telling me about the girls and stuff and the university that's close to there. And he said they got like the finest Japanese women that's there because they come from all over Japan and stuff like that. And Hirahata station is kind of big and stuff. So we just walking around, and just doing our thing and stuff. And we just I parked in front of the station and stuff, and we were sitting there, and the girl, in the video, she came walking by. So I said hi to her, and she didn't say anything, and I wasn't expecting her to say anything, right? So all of a sudden she passed in front of the car, and she stops, do a quick left, walks to the center of the front of my car, turn around, bends over and look at the emblem, the Lexus emblem. Then she stands up and she looks over the front of the car, the front end, and then she walks all the way to the back, bends over again, look at the rear emblem, stands up, face towards the back of the car, back up a couple of paces and looked at the car, and then she did another walk around. And then when she came back in front of us, she said, "Whose car is this?" But she said in Japanese, "Whose car is this?" And I said, "It's my car." And she said, "Wow, it's a nice car," and da-da-da. And, I was like, we were kind of like surprised and stuff, So, I just asked her name and stuff like that. And asked her could I have her number and stuff. And she was like, yeah. Here's my number or address or whatever it was she gave me. And then she said, "Please call me or contact me or whatever. Please contact me. And I want you to come up to my job and visit me," and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, cool, And I was really surprised. And then I just said, "Oh man, I could do one of my Do You Love Black Men videos." So I said, "Hey, would you like to do Do You Love Black Men videos?" And I told her that the word love just means respect and stuff like that. And then I gave her all the details about YouTube and stuff like that. She didn't know, I think she knew what YouTube was, but I always told her it's like Nico Nico Dojo. And she's like, okay. And I told her about the haters and people are going to be writing some bad comments and stuff, but don't worry about it. It's just jealous people and stuff. And she was like, all right. So when she made the video, she just made it and stuff. And then when I, actually what it was just like black guys I asked, but then because G Money was there and stuff, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to leave him out, So then I just asked her about him, and I guess it was kind of like, I don't know, it seemed like a little sudden and stuff. That's why she kind of like had to pause or something. And she said he was cool. She said, black guys are nice. And she said, black guys are nice, white guys are cool and stuff, And she did have that funny look on her face. I was like, what was that all about? But, maybe she just didn't want to let the rest of you guys know what she was thinking, So that's what I was figuring. So then, I said turn around. She did turn around thing, and then I finished, right? And then after that, she was like, please, contact me. I got to go to work now. And I'm like, all right. And she's like, bye. And I'm not sure if I gave her a hug or not. But, yeah, I mean, she was nice, though. But I was, like I said, we was just surprised and stuff because the way she walked by and her legs were, like, real nice and stuff. And just walked by and just straight up, just straight up did one of those gold digging moves and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It just like, yo, and she like come visit her store. I don't know what kind of store she worked at and stuff, But it was interesting, so I was like, all right, cool. So, and then G Money was like, you don't call him? I'm like, yeah, I doubt it. I was like, why? I'm like, I don't know, I just really don't call. A lot of these girls I meet, I get a lot of numbers, and I just don't call them, because I don't know, I just don't do it. But anyway, that's the story, and that's what happened. Okay, so it wasn't anything about me going up and harassing her and stuff. Actually, she came and harassed us. I'm just saying, that's what happened. We were just minding our own business, and then she came over there and started asking me about my car. And I'm like, huh? Didn't even ask her name. Whose car is this? This is my car. I was like, ooh, boss. So that's what happened. About peace.